All right, this Hangout on Air is live. This is Alicia Stringer here. I am in Nashville and just coming back from the trip in Lake Las Vegas. Boy, this is a couch session because we are pooped and worn out for this whole trip. It was a quick one for us. We totally enjoyed it and didn't realize how dry the weather was and everything, and ended up Haley getting sick Saturday night, and we just did the best we could just to get back in town. So she's excited to be sitting and watching her movies and just relaxing, not going to school, of course, because she's so sick. But we are heading back, and we're so excited to be here today to go through just a relaxing book and really put things in some perspective from the event, what's coming out, and really how we can get you to a millionaire mindset. So Greta, come out and introduce yourself, what's going on with you, and how you got here.
Well, I'm just, yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm a little sleepy myself. I didn't just go on a big trip, but, you know, with half a dozen kids, it gets, like, the nights are just sleepless around here. I have, like, a little frog in my throat, and so if I sound a little grovelly, that's what's going on. I don't know, it's been about a week. Oh!
Maybe Keisha jumped on. I didn't know if she was traveling or Valerie's traveling too.
Oh, there's Valerie!
Maybe she'll have fun.
Awesome! I was not, we weren't exactly expecting to have these lovely ladies jump on with us because they're traveling today. So,
yeah.
I don't want to, just in case we're going to lose them, I'm going to pass it off to Valerie now before I went on.
You guys are beautiful darlings. So.
Hey, guys. Hey. Hi. For those of you who don't know me, it's Valerie Jumpolsky. I'm the mom freedopreneur from Abundance Now. And I got my twin little 4-year-olds. They're in here. Do you guys know Patricia Henry? We were driving back, driving back from Lake Las Vegas. I don't know if any of you have ever traveled with kids. It's like, Mommy, I gotta go. So we were stopping all these different places. And then it was like, yeah, stop here. I stopped in every little town you could probably think of. We actually went last night. We went to go see at the Bellagio. Have you ever seen the fountains? They're so beautiful. You'll see. I'm going to be posting the video up. But Jaden loves watching the waterfall, the fountains with the music and everything. So we were late doing that, coming back, and Patricia was like, "You're too tired. That's it. We're spending the night here." So I'm actually at Patricia's home here, and then we're about to hit the road. And we're gonna do the rest of the drive back. But yeah, so it was amazing. I've been so busy with the traveling. What is our topic today?
He's silly.
We're doing our book review from The Dream Giver.
Yes, sorry, the book review of The Dream Giver. My brain, I'm like a little bit of cookie at the moment. Okay, all right. So, hi, everybody. And I love it. I'm so fun. I didn't even know what day it is. It's like, it's Monday. I'm like, no, it's Tuesday. Oh, right. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I love it. We can have a life like this and do this. And speak your heart, and we're going to talk books. So, mwah. Yeah.
You know, I also wanted to make sure that for those of you who may have had an invite from me for this hangout, I realized this morning just before hopping on here that the hangout that we had last week with Tom the Furry Hat Guy, I ended up promoting it for this week instead of last week, and it just popped up this week. So if you happen to miss the hangout and you were hoping to be here to see Tom the Furry Hat Guy today, he's not with us today, but he was with us last week and the week before. And if you want to have those recordings or to those hangouts, which were absolutely amazing and powerful, please just send me a private message if you were invited by me. If you're new to this and Alicia invited you and you're like, ooh, it's Tom the Furry Hat Guy, that sounds kind of cool, make sure you private message her or Valerie or Keisha or anybody else who may have invited you to this. I just wanted to put that out there that we do have recordings for those hangouts as well. So just send us a private message and we will get those to you. So apologies for the misunderstanding there if you hopped on from my event today. That being said, we have a powerful hangout today. As I did mention, we are doing the book review for The Dream Giver and by Bruce Wilkinson. So I'm super excited about that. And Keisha, I'm not sure if she can talk. Let's see if Keisha is with us right now. Sounds like she's at the airport. Airport security.
Can you say anything, Keisha? Okay, she's muted. I don't think she can. I think she just wanted to listen in while she's traveling.
Awesome. We love you, Keisha.
Love you, Keisha.
Let me see.
Wait, we got Patricia. Patricia's going to say hi. Say hi.
Hi, Patricia.
Hi, guys.
I bet you've been busy.
She said, I bet you've been busy.
Busy what? Sleeping.
Yeah, we've been sleeping. What's that thing called sleep?
Good.
We were sleeping.
With the kids, yes.
Yeah. Good. That's awesome.
So
All
if
right,
you guys...
would you like to take it away with the... Would you like to get started?
Yes, I would love to know first, anybody who has read The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson, go ahead and comment below. Say, yes, I've seen it. I'd love to see your feedback. Write in the comments below. I'd love to know where you are. And go ahead and starting your journey with The Dream Giver. Because Bruce Wilkinson wrote several books about the Dream Giver. There's several different types of versions and everything. So be sure to, share in the comments of what you guys have, read or been able to experience so far. So I'd love to see that. And even those on the panel, because I know some of you ladies saying, I haven't read it, and I'm looking forward today, getting a good review and kicking the butt with this book, because we're trying to set ourselves on get into the millionaire mindset, and what a better way is to read books, right? We've got to keep reading and applying what we learn. So just to give you a real quick review, if you haven't read it, this is one to really set your mind to the millionaire mindset. Little background on Dream Giver is to really understand the author and where he came from. So I want to say a little bit about Bruce Wilkinson before we even get started in the book, because that might put your whole thing in perspective of exactly how this book was kind of put together. And so when you are looking at the way the story is presented, learn the massive results that Bruce Wilkinson has already been able to generate. And he has, several bestseller books out there, Life, God Rewards, Secrets of the Vine, and has created numerous other global incentives. So when you see a person that's been able to create a Bible faculty of more than 32,083 nations, that just stands out, and I'm going, how in the world did this guy do this massive, just create this massive faculty or massive movement was what I would say. And he's created 87 organizations and recruited and trained 7,000 Americans to serve in that former Soviet Union. So he has a lot of experience and leading 4,500 Americans to address that hunger and orphan care and AIDS education, all that poverty in Africa. And it's really neat to see how he's done that in his journey with his wife, Darlene, and he has 3 children and several grandchildren. So are you ready to live your dream?
I was muted.
Okay, here, I'm going to ask some questions, so keep your unmuted self. Are you, the question is, are you living your dream, or are you just living your life? According to Valerie, it looks like she's living her dream. What do you say, Valerie?
You're muted.
Oh, I think I muted her. I don't think I can unmute her.
Oh, no.
Can you unmute, Valerie?
There, is that better?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, I accidentally muted, yeah. I would say living my life is living my dream. Because it's like it's how I'm living my life. It's when you can. That's the thing. Is I've made the choices. I've made the decisions, and that's how I do. When I'm living, so that living my life is living my dream, because I believe that we can do this right here, right now. And which is why we're connected. Which is why we're connected into the, into the process and the system that we're connected into, is to make that all possible. So it's a choice. It's a choice, and it's a decision, and taking the inspired action. So yeah, when you do that, yes, you can. You could be doing both, or what living one really is living the other. That's the key. That's the key. Is that making sense?
Excellent.
Yeah.
How about you, Greta?
Am I living my dream?
Yes, are you living your dream or just living your life?
I'm definitely living my dream, and it's funny how sometimes life, just the especially being a mom and a mompreneur, like things can get overwhelming at times. Maybe you can relate. Things can get really tiring, and you can tend to forget during those moments of total, absolute fatigue that the fatigue kind of clouds everything else that's actually happening, the life that you've created and the beauty in all of that. And I find sometimes, there are times we have an absolutely amazing community here. It's not just the four of us here. There's so many other women, so many other mothers, so many other mompreneurs in our community that we can come to each other at any point in time. And there are times when myself, I have absolutely no sleep, and I have those moments where I'm like, I can't even think. I don't know what's happening. And then I reach out, and it's like I'm reminded that, this is a part of being a mom. That doesn't necessarily mean that those feelings of being tired is what my life is and what my reality is. And the more and more that the days go by, and especially now, it's like things are just falling into place. And I'm realizing that those dreams that I have been writing down, the vision that I've had for my family, I'm actually living, and even, but there's those moments where we just feel so tired, just from lack of sleep and being up with the kids all night and everything, that we, it jades our mind. And this too shall pass. This time, eventually, one day, my kids will probably be sleeping in so much that I'll, the half of the day will go by, and they'll probably still be wanting to sleep in their beds, as they grow older. But my kids are kind of still, 13 and under, right? So they're up and down, and the little ones. So yes, I'm living my dream right now, and because my dream is in the forefront of my mind, and I'm constantly tapped into the power of my imagination, and I just let it go wild. And just because being a part of this community has allowed me to dream as much as I do now, has made me remember what it's like to have a vivid imagination, and to taste and to smell, and all those amazing, wonderful things that we can do to create our reality, and that we do with our thoughts. Being connected to Valerie, being connected to Alicia, being connected to Keisha, it makes me remember who I am, and remember what I'm capable of, remember what life is really about, and how precious it is, and that no matter what, no matter how many fears bubble up and come up inside, that I have to overcome them, push through, and keep going. So yeah,
Sorry, ladies.
I'm living my dream. The life, every day I'm living.
If anyone asks you to check in value,
Keisha,
do not
we might need
accept
to.
it, and please notify everyone.
Real quick, Sharon's us if you're living your dream.
Yeah, I think we're going to mute Keisha in the background there. Whoops, there we go.
Yeah, so
Who wants to share?
I guess I was just going to say quickly, you know, the reason why I know this so much to be true as well is the reflections and the actions that I see from my children every day, the way that they respond and interact with other people, the things that I hear them say in their own private conversations with each other, the things that I hear them say when they come home and they say, you know, I had this problem with this child in my class, or in my dance class, or my kids are all in dance, or you know, we were out skating the other day and there was, you know, an issue and something came up with another child, and you know, the way they work through, and they always, you know, they're always working to inspire other children and to uplift and help them, and that's just like it. We're living our dream, and I'm so happy to be here. So yeah.
Awesome. It's such inspiring to see your example, Greta, with how you're dealing with, you know, all your kids and how you just balance everything. And that's definitely, you know, kind of a mom's dream. You know, you always, those that truly want to be moms, to have their kids and experience that with them. And I know Keisha is the same way. She's trying to pop on before she loads her plane, has boarded her plane, and I know she's living her dream, was able to get out to like Las Vegas and do amazing things while she was there. She did a lot of things, helped me out and helped a lot of people out there. And Lake Las Vegas is, we were able to do a lot of transformation things. So moving on, we wanted to set that. There's a couple questions that you need to set straight. And if you are in the Hangout now, no matter if you're watching this recorded, I want you to share just your thoughts. Are you really living your dream or just living your life? And share just honestly where you're at, so you can really get a perspective. But as you're going through this book, this journey with us, there's two parts of this book. There's the parable of the dream giver, and then there's the journey to your big dream. And they label it out in those two different sections. So do you believe every person on earth was born to dream his or her life? And there's several questions here that really put some different things in perspective. So, and instead of giving some, you know, feedback, let me just read these questions as we go through this, because I think if I say too much, we'll kind of read each other's sections out and give some feedback there with you guys on getting this review. So do you have a dream as a child and you lost it along the way? And I think this question was kind of stuck out to me because I want to know what my dreams of my children are like right now, and I always love to expand on that. So we go watch a movie, you know, like one of the Disney movies, and then we talk about our dreams and you know, talk about the dreams from that movie, and it's inspiring to see the different things, the reactions that they have with what they think is dreams, you know. And do you have a dream right now that seems impossible to pursue? And I see this quote all the time. When you see the word impossible, it has the two letters in front, I am. So you got to break it down going, I am possible, to really know possible. And then the next question is, how do you feel like God forgot to even give you a big dream? So we're looking beyond and looking to a higher being there. Are you pursuing your dream but experiencing setback after setback, and you see just all these setbacks right in front of you? Maybe you can't see beyond being actually awake. You're like, I just need a little bit more sleep to see things in a real perspective. Totally see that. So if you answered, you know, yes to any of those questions, this book is for you, the journey of your life. So if you're following along, Greta, do you want to read that first one right there?
Sure. So, ordinary embraces his big dream. Work up with a feeling, or is that wake up?
Yeah, it's woke up. I'm sorry.
Woke up with a feeling that he was missing from something big. Excited. He was excited. He told his best friend and laughed and felt stuck. He told his father he had a dream, waited, and never seemed possible. Okay, maybe you should read it because it's like your notes.
Yeah, it's so hard. I was just kind of summing up, his experiences of his embracing his big dream. So it's kind of like a lot of us. We woke up with this feeling of we want something big, and he was excited about it. I just found this great opportunity, and he told his friend, and he laughed, and he was like, "What?" And he felt stuck. You're like, "I told your best friend, I'm excited," and you're not. And he told his father, "I had this dream," and he says, "I had a dream too once, and I waited and just never seemed possible." And so that's how Ordinary is the character. That's his name. And that's how he felt. He felt really sad about this. So the next points I gave was exactly his reaction at the end of each chapter. So I pretty much copied exactly what he said. Dream Giver gave me a big dream before I was even born. I just finally woke up to it. My dream is what I do best and what I most love to do. How could I have missed for so long? I had to sacrifice and made big changes to pursue my dream, but it will be worth it. It makes me sad to think that so many nobodies are missing something so big. So and then he goes into Ordinary and leaves his comfort zone. So the Dream Giver, tell me just when you want to speak out if you want to leave. I don't know if it's
No, go ahead. It's easier if you go through it, and then we'll just interrupt if we feel like we've got something.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
The Dream Giver always is encouraging. So we have Ordinary, and then we have the Dream Giver as the main characters now. And the Dream Giver is always encouraging. It says, "Take courage, Ordinary," and then he was gone. It was hard to leave my comfort zone, but it would have been harder to leave, but I didn't. So I still don't feel worthy or able to do my dream, but the Dream Giver has promised to help me. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Sorry, because I couldn't hear you for a second. I think that and that was like so important as I was reading here. This is something that I think for a lot of you this will stick out if you've ever had a dream and but you've been so scared because just being outside of your comfort zone it can be really uncomfortable and scary. But this is such a good way of thinking of it. Like you said, it was hard to leave my comfort zone, but it would have been even harder to leave behind my dream.
Yeah.
And anytime you feel like stuck or you feel like so fearful, you feel like you can't take that next step. Just think about that. Is it really that hard? Wouldn't it be harder to live your life and that and you're at the end of your life thinking, why couldn't I have just gone for that dream? Why didn't I just go for it? What's holding you back? The only thing holding us back is ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I make sort of a wacky analogy on this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's my wacky. It's my Disneyland life. Those of you who know me, we go to Disneyland a lot. So I'm with my little ones, and we go to Disneyland. And I remember it's like Jordan. He wanted to ride on this ride, and he thought about it, and then he got scared, and he was really, really scared to ride on the ride. But he said he really wanted to do it, and he made this big, huge, hairy deal about how scared he was, and he'd be upset and sad because he was scared, and Jordan wanted, and Jaden wanted to go on the ride, Will wanted to go on the ride. Well, finally, when I convinced him, I had to give him, the comfort, and I held his hand, and I said, we can do this, and we get there, and we go on the ride. We finally get to the ride, and then he realizes all his fears about what he was scared of were just, they weren't connected to reality, right? But he wouldn't have known if he didn't just take that step and go on the ride. And now it's like, he loves the ride, and let's go on the ride. And I'll remind him, says, you remember when you were scared? So now whenever something new comes up, I'm like saying, you remember when you were scared to do that, and then you found out that everything you were afraid of, it's like once you stepped in and just took that step in and then took another step and then took another, just kept moving forward. Then all of a sudden, wow, it was fun, it was good. And I mean, I'm thinking of the analogy of just even anything that you first learned to do, right? And I mean, it could be like driving a car or even riding a bike. I mean, you see all the other kids riding the bike, and you want to ride the bike. And you might be scared you're going to fall. And maybe you do, but you got to be, oh, you know what, it's okay. I fell, but it's cool. I can get back up on the bike, right? Or even learning how to drive. I mean, all that stuff, and now you don't even think about it. But you had to, like, you wanted the freedom of being able to drive and go wherever you wanted to go. I'm just making these analogies. It's like it seems scary, and it seems like, you know, even if you can remember back to when you learned how to tie your shoes even, right? And it seems complicated. But you really want to be able to, because you want to have that freedom to be able to put it. You don't have to ask your mommy to tie your shoes for you. I mean, just the mommy, it's all the mommy, mompreneur. I can't help it. I got the mommy analogies. But that whole idea of just remembering, and sometimes, you know, you make it into a bigger deal. Like I'm thinking of just one simple task that we learn, and we actually have step by step that teaches you now how to do it. Like literally follow step by step. And I thought about it before, and I thought, well, I've never done that before. And I made this big thing in my head until I remembered and went, you know what? This could be just like one of those other things, like tying the shoes and everything else. And I just sat there and I just went step by step, and they said, okay, you do this. And then I just literally step by step. And the thing that I had been holding in my head going, oh, it's so hard to do, I did it in 10 minutes. And then now I do it automatically, right? And so it's I don't know. Does that analogy make sense? You guys?
It totally makes sense. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it gets more powerful because he says, I don't feel worthy or able to do the dream, but the dream giver has promised to help me. So even when you have that fear that I'm not worthy, I don't think I can do this, he focuses on that dream giver. He says, look, he's promised to help me, that I can do this. And so now I know the secret, that I can take courage even when I feel afraid. I had to step through it. I didn't think I could, but I did. So that first couple chapters are just powerful in the way he gets started.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to chapter. Anything else before we move on?
I'm good.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Now, chapter 3, the ordinary meets the bullies in the borderland. And the end of the chapter, he gave some really deep points of how he felt as he was going through it. And so you're going to have to read the book so you know the journey of really how he goes through it. He finds clues to the dream giver. I met bullies at the borderland. They were nobodies I knew, so they have different character. There was a bully like sitting at the bridge at the borderland to go, and there were other nobodies on the other side. So, and he was in the land of familiar. Okay, so you kind of know the locations if you're getting the full picture of what they're called. So when he left familiar, it upset the comfort zone of those close to me, and they felt like they were losing something important. Even though my bullies tried to stop me, some of their concerns will help me. I couldn't stay away from all my bullies. In the end, I had to decide who I would please. I chose to please the dream giver. And this chapter was like the full breakthrough for me. I was like, the biggest chapter was this one right here. And I'll share with you why. I feel like so many times in my life that I wanted to please those around me. I wanted to make them happy. And they were actually my bullies to helping me move forward. And I was trying to figure out really truthfully how that was. And I was just like, I really have to be myself and make my own decisions. I do want to please them, but I really need to choose to please myself, the dreams that I want to get to. And I really couldn't decide, my parents tell me one thing, my people close to me doing this one thing, and they're saying this kind of to protect me in the way I was making some decisions. You know that this will happen if you choose it that way. If you go on this trip, you still are losing out on this, all this different stuff. So many little decisions like that found in my bullies. And I just had to, block it in a way, and and I think that's kind of how I looked at this chapter, of seeing how did he block it, how did he know that those were all his bullies, and saying, I'm going to get across that bridge, even if there's someone blocking me, I'm going to find a way to swim across if that's what I need to do. I'm going to find a way to get across and make it successfully. And so I still feel like I'm swimming in water sometimes, trying to figure out a way to get across. This chapter was really awakening on different ways that approaching the bullies, or a way bullies are approaching me, and just it was just a really powerful on how this was presented in there. So I encourage you to go and read that and see if you can get some of these takeaways as well. How do you feel, you ladies, on some of the bullies that come into your life, on that you want to please people, or something that has happened to you guys?
Well, it's funny because it's been sort of a powerful thing that I've been focused on recently, for myself, and just helping some friends that have had this kind of thing come up in their lives, people in their lives that maybe don't understand what it is that they're doing, and I'm going to go back to something I learned from actually Michael Bernard Beckwith, but it's the idea, and the bully can be people in your lives. Some people say the bullies are people in government or whatever, and the thing is these are folks that it's about taking separation, instead of taking it in and feeling like I have to appease this person and what they believe and what they want for me in my life, right? Mm-hmm. Into realizing and having compassion for, having understanding for their lack of understanding, because they may not understand your dream. They may have given up on their dreams, right? To a certain degree, and they think they need to do certain things to get certain things in their life, and you might represent something that kind of comes up in their face saying, wow, maybe I'm not really living what I really want and what's true in my heart and my soul, and what I've always known is like my if you want to say God-given, I was born to do, and you kind of remind it to them. So for them, it's threatening, it's scary, because they might need to make a change in their own lives. They don't want to do that. But there's it's just they don't understand. They haven't come to that place inside, and having a compassion of an understanding for their lack of understanding doesn't mean that you got to do what they want you to do. You still, and it frees you up. It like releases all the negative energy and feeling about it, and just say, okay, I'm still going for I'm still doing this, and I'm living my dream, and I'm taking my actions, and I'm living my life in the way that I know is right for me to, do the things that I want to do, and can release them and what's going on with them, even though they're right there in front of me. Just have that emotional space of, understanding for their lack of understanding. Does that make sense? So it doesn't become a battle. It's kind of a release, and that heartfelt energy that can be sent out to them, even just energetically, and that allows you to keep just moving forward, and it doesn't need to be something that you get tied into, slowing you down or stopping you down from taking the actions and the inspired actions that you want to do in your life and what you're doing in your business. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for me too, I'd have to say that because I've always walked to the beat of my own drum my whole entire life, when somebody said, or when I saw a whole bunch of people going left, I knew I was going right. It was just the way that I've always been. And I think I probably drove my mother nuts because I was that way. And like in particular, I used to ask, and I didn't do this to spite her or to spite anybody else that I would ask this question to, but I would say, let's say a decision came up in front of me. I had a couple of different opportunities, and I would say, okay, so should I choose this one or should I choose this one? And whichever one they chose, I chose the opposite, because that's just the way I rolled. And it was like, I don't know, I just got this sort of, I always felt like, it was just more exciting to me. Like I just always wanted to do things that made me feel alive, that always pushed me harder to just like, I got a kick out of facing my fears. I got a kick out of things that would like make my adrenaline pump. I think it's just because because of the way I grew up, it was like I think I have a little bit of an addiction to like just that heightened level of like just feeling alive, things that make me feel alive, that make me realize what I'm capable of, like having half a dozen kids. Yeah, it's if you have 2 kids, times that by 3, right? Then you get so that's what it's like, and there's always been people that have, because I've done things differently, there's been people in my life that have, it's nothing to feel like I'm bragging or boasting or anything. It's just been what's happened is that a lot of people have talked about me and talked about what I've been doing, and because I've done things differently. And I've had people say negative things about me, or heard things, oh, so-and-so saying this about you or that about you, whatever. I just kind of just had to just ignore that and just keep doing what I'm doing. Well, do I want to take part in that, or do I want to just take part in what I'm doing and just go for it, surround myself with people who are, who like being around me, who are supportive of me, who I like being, it's like, and I've had to let go. I've had to just kind of let go of people in my life throughout my life and just let go and let go and let go. And I've been that type of person where I've been drawn to those people who've, had that bullying happen to them, and just like, I like lifting those people up and empowering those people. And, it's just something that I've always done. And it's just, you have a choice. Do you want to surround yourself with people who are negative and who don't believe in you and who don't get your dreams, or do you want to be surrounded by people who do, and by people who are even at a higher level than you are, that who are going to inspire you to reach even higher, people who are achieving your dreams, people who are on the same level, or just, you're just holding hands and you're just going together like we are here right now and watching each other. And it's for me, and what you said, Valerie, totally makes sense as well. It's just also being understanding of where they're at in their own minds, where they're coming from, and that's so important. That's what I talk to my kids about as well, when they're dealing with different things and they don't exactly understand where other people are coming from. Why are they saying these things? Why are they being mean about this or that or the other thing? It's just a matter of, what, in some ways I feel like it's my duty to keep pushing through and to show them, to show those people that I do understand where you're coming from. I'm still going to give you love no matter what you give me, and because of that, eventually a shift happens, or it doesn't. But it's not yours. You don't own that, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's theirs to keep, and you just keep moving forward and keep pushing through. Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. That's a great feedback.
Absolutely.
And anybody that's watching this, also share how you react to bullies that come in your life. The next chapter 4, Ordinary, is going to enter the wasteland now. So after crossing the waters, I thought my dream was just around the corner. Instead, I found wasteland. I was disappointed by the delay, and my doubts about the dream giver only made things worse. Now I see that the wasteland was not a waste. It has taught me to trust the dream giver, even when he's nowhere in sight. I think I'm stronger now. I'm following my faith, and every day I feel more prepared for whatever lies ahead. So this was his reaction to his little bit of journey throughout the wasteland, and I think that's kind of like you've reached past those bullies. Now you're set free. You're going on your journey, and different things, ups and downs, of what happens. I'll kind of keep reading unless you guys have anything to say about that.
Well, just real quick. I mean, it's the idea of trusting, because you might not even realize, you're in the process of doing something, and what is happening in the moment. It's not taking a look at your current circumstances around you as you're moving, as you're taking action on your dream. which, by the way, always experience it as if it's already happening now. Know that it's yours already. I mean, the moment you have it, that means it's yours. And all you're doing is taking actions to bring the invisible that's already yours into the physical manifest. And you just take action. And as you're taking action, you may not understand whether you want to believe it's the universe or if you know that it's God moving your life from within or from without, whatever is your space on that, is that to trust that that process is in motion. Right? From the moment you have your dream, that process is in motion. And if you have an inspired feeling to take some action, and you're moving forward, and all of a sudden you're in a process in a system, and they say, here's these steps, go through the steps, and you're doing the steps, and you're in the process, and you don't see the result right away. It doesn't mean it's not happening. You could be like, so all of a sudden somebody says, turn this direction and walk over there, and just listen to it, because that series of actions could lead to the very thing that is part of the process of exactly what you need to actually achieve it. And it's like a recipe for a cake. And that portion, it's not about what's around you right now. You keep that trust and that faith, whether it's in yourself and God and the universe, whatever it is that is your belief system, and you move forward because it is moving. It is moving. I mean, I've had that in several things that I've done where I took action, and it may not have made sense in the time, but I just know I need to do this, whatever it is, and you just keep going, and then all of a sudden you have this amazing result, this crazy thing that happens, and you look back in hindsight and go, wow, if I didn't do that to that to that to that to that, I wouldn't have reached, this wouldn't be manifest here right now. And over and over and over, I've seen it happen in my life. And so that's what I get from that, is just trusting, not relying on what's around you in your environment currently. Keep moving, because it's part of the process.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, Alicia, I just looked at the time quickly and realized
we're running out of time.
That it's about 11:45, and this book is so amazing, and like there's so many juicy things in here. And as I'm looking, Alicia has, I mean, I don't know if you looked at it, Valerie, but she's got some incredible notes. And I mean, we could make it a second part to this whole thing, because I mean, what we're touching on is so important for
Absolutely.
people, for you watching right now, to get that information. So I don't know about you guys, if you guys want to, you know, I just wanted to say that before it got too close, just quickly to interrupt a little bit, just say that maybe if you guys are okay with it, we could do a part 2 as well for this.
I think it's important to delve into this deep and to do it. That's my thing. I feel part 2. Definitely part 2.
Try to finish the first section. Then it can be an even break. There's only 3 more points left of this first section.
Go for it.
The chapter 5 starts out with Ordinary finds sanctuary, and he's wanting to wonder, was Dream Giver pleased? And so Dream Giver asks, give me your dream. And this is like a conversation that he has in there with him. And Ordinary is like taken back and like, no, you're not taking my dream. So he just refuses. Like, why would you take away my dream? You gave me this dream. So he's really confused in this kind of situation that he got in. I will never be the same after this sanctuary. I swam in still waters there and washed away the last traces of the wasteland. And so this is his take back on what exactly happened to him in this sanctuary thing. The dreams giver's light revealed darkness inside of me. It was unbearable. How could he want me to come any closer? But he took away my darkness. When the dream giver asked me to give my dream to him, I didn't think I could. But I wanted the dream giver more than my dream, so I did. The dream giver gave my dream back to me. Now it is a part of his big dream, and that means my dream is a lot bigger than before. May I always use it to serve him. So this was a powerful one in a way that you had a dream, and then you're giving it away to someone else to have a dream as well, and then you're realizing how your dream gets bigger. This has totally happened to me when I got a new team member and I listened to what their dream is. When I want to make an effect on the Breast Foundation or these certain groups, or how they really want to make an impact on being able to provide for, either a whole organization or more for their family. And it really made my dream bigger, going, I want to help in that dream as well, and showing, okay, I have my dream and I can give back to their dream and then give back to their team's dream, so I felt like it made a viral effect, that going, my dream is bigger. And especially from this last event, when we think of revolution and think of, how the different wars were actually impacted, and the war of David Wood trying to reach 100 millionaires a year, and then realizing that from seeing different people that took 30 years to create the 100 diamonds, and then did it in like 6 months in one country, and then did it, and so fast, more millionaires were created, or diamonds, or whatever the goal was, faster, because he did it the first time, and then so many more doors were opened up to make it happen faster. And I think that is kind of the viral effect that this chapter kind of opens up, going, you got to give away something in order for another door to be open. And I think that's a very powerful mindset to get yourself to change. You're going to have to give up some stuff, and you never know what that next door might open up to you. You have any feedback, ladies?
I love that. For me recently, it just Valerie, you sent me that link to Edwin Gaines, and it's just like changed everything for me. It came to me at the right time on the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity, and just what you said about you have to give in order to have other doors open up to you. I started to tithe. And I started tithing, and it's just like when you realize that you have something to give, which you do right now watching, I guarantee you have so much value. And if you're hearing those words right now and it's hard for you to hear them and to accept them because you're just like, you just feel like you don't know what you have to give, believe me, it's there and it's inside of you, waiting. It is there. I felt that way. I'm sure we've all felt that way on this panel at different times. I have women that reach out to me. I just don't know what I have. I know that I must have something, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. And and instead of letting that kind of break my heart to know and that somebody feels that way about themselves, I think of things. Well, what can I give them to help inspire them and to uplift them and to make them realize, what about them has changed my life, and I tune in on that and sort of turn it back and reflect it towards them, what they see in me, what you see in me right now, maybe watching, maybe you see something inside of me that has inspired you, or maybe you saw something in Valerie or Alicia. Maybe you saw something in Keisha another time when you were watching one of our hangouts. Whatever you see, whatever you saw, inside yourself. And those things are gifts. Those are gifts that we have and that we carry that we can share with others. And like I said, I started tithing. Back to that, I started tithing, and oh my God, I get so excited. I get so excited. Like when I'm about to tithe, like some money comes in, and I just like, and I always wait. Like somebody always comes in around that time, and it's like boom. Like I just know it's that person. That person, is my person right now, and I just love it. It just feels so good to be able to give, doesn't it, ladies? Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
So excited. So yeah, that's right. I honed in on that one part about just the being able to give and then having the doors open up, because it just, I love it.
Yeah, and I love it for clarity, what she's talking about. When we talk about tithe, it may or may not be to your church or spiritual center. It's about when money comes in, you take 10% and you tithe it to where you're fed spiritually. It could be simply, it could be someone a waitress in a restaurant that says something kind in a moment. You know, I mean, it could be a friend, it could be an author of a book, whatever it could be, you'll know what it is, and it's circulating that. But I just want to reiterate what Greta said, because it's so powerful too when you're giving, that anything that you're inspired of, if you're watching this anywhere, here or anywhere else, if you see it, if you get inspired by it, it's because whatever that essence, that's exactly what's in with you, that it is yours. Your dream is yours. If you see it, it's yours. If you're inspired, it means because that's also your gift that you have to give in your unique way. Greta has to do it in her unique way. I have it in my unique way. So it might be the same thing, but you have your unique way of expressing that and giving that out and joining. And I love what Alicia was saying, because, yeah, our dreams combine. Because together we are so much more powerful. So you take your unique way, Alicia's unique way, my unique way, and it might even be a similar dream, but as we move in it together, our uniqueness together and expressing it makes it so much bigger. It's like it's compounding. If you know the math on it, it's like compounding. That makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
That's fun.
Yeah, I just want to go back to how, because it made me think of, when you give and then another opportunity comes up or something comes up, right? One of the tithes that I recently gave to was a good friend of mine, Lee, who had just uplifted me at a time that I needed it more than anything, and he did it in a way that was just so powerful, and it shifted at such a deep level with me. And I had a good chunk of money come in, so it was a pretty big tithe, and I just sent him a message and I said, what's the best email that I can send you money? He was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, I started typing in blah, 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 and I sent him the money, and he was like, he sent me a message back, he's like, are you joking? He's like, what are you what's going on? And I said, no, you have to accept this. This is you have to accept it. That's it.
Yeah.
You just have to. It took him a while, really, honestly. It's just such a tender heart. And he did. He accepted it, and he said, well, as long as I can, I've got something really big. I've got this thing that I'm working on, and it just so happened that money ended up going to build a new, orphanage for this children in Africa. And that's always been, I got goosebumps thinking about it, because it's always been a dream of mine to go to Africa and work with people there and help people there, and also just to have that and to actually physically be able to build homes for people, work for habitats or volunteer for Habitat for Humanity and things like that. And I just never knew how it would come into play. So in a couple of years, this might be happening, and I've wanted to do it with my children and have them experience that as well. So, I mean, you never know, big, however small or big it might be that you're going to give in whatever way. Words, it doesn't have to be in money, whatever. It can be your time. It can, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just amazing how it can snowball, and other things, like you said, can come out of it. So it's really incredible.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
If you haven't read this book, you should know the ending of it then. Chapter 6 starts off with how ordinary reaches the valley of giants. So beware of unbelief. Ordinary, says the commander. Unbelief is much more dangerous than your dream than any giant. So the warrior is like, what giant can stand against me? He's got that warrior mindset now. He's ready. He met a friend who shared my dream and helped make it happen. Before I met my first giant, I met the commander. He told me that I am a warrior. He showed me my weapons are every truth that I've learned on my journey. The unbelief is dangerous, so far into belief, but it feels risky every time. Even though I've been prepared to face my giants, I still need that dream giver's power. Every time I defeat a giant, The dream giver receives honor. So giants beware. And then in chapter 7, which is the last one before the next part, it says, ordinary thrives in the land of promise. The dream giver keeps asking, what do you see? And his devotion to the dream giver keep growing. So he writes a letter to his father and sending that to his, sending a feather, because the feather represented that the father had a dream, and he laid that feather thinking that he could use that and find the dream. So that was kind of like the symbol to help his father. So he sent this feather with the letter to his father, and just sharing what his experiences was, and saying that you still can have a dream. Your dream is still possible. It's not too late. Just to give him some hope to his father, to help him come on this journey with him to find his dream. And really giving encouragement to his father was powerful in a way that they finished this first section here of this book. So there's some very powerful transformations that he's going through on his journey to the next dream. And part 2 starts out the journey to the big dream and how they go through that. So last thing from this big section was unbelief, and it's I think it's subconsciously in my mind how sensitive it is, and so I have to really truly focus on belief, saying affirmations, everything positive, more in a way that overpowers that unbelief or the negativity and stuff. So people have to really drive down saying you're just such a positive person, always so that, and you have to be overly done on that, I think, in a way. You're the biggest cheerleader. You've got to be that biggest cheerleader to overpower that unbelief, that sensitive spot that might be stuck in there when you find that big giant.
Yeah, and I love that. And for those of you that are here still watching right now, you know that's kudos, because you're here. You're part of that, doing that. You're here making a conscious effort to stay connected to, because we're a millionaire mindset about having that positive space and that positive mindset. So I give you absolute kudos and appreciation. You're here watching this right now. You're doing exactly the right thing. So what time is, are we close to the top of the hour now?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yeah. 2 minutes. So yeah, so stay tuned. We're going to have a part 2. I'm not sure if it's going to be next week, or we might have, I know we have a special guest in the wings as well. So it'll either be part 2 next week, or we will have a very, very special guest that I'm very excited about. And either way, it's going to be powerful. So, message us. Put your comments below. What did you love? Your aha moments, your inspirations, everything. Share. Speak your vision. Speak your so that you can be that give that gift of giving here in the comments, so that anybody that comes here and reads this, and you may not even know who they are, but they're going to hear something inspirational from you, from what you got from this stuff, because we're talking, but we want to hear your thoughts and your inspirations, and the chat's going to follow with us. So it'll stay there. It's like something that's going to come through. So, and below, if you're not already a part of our community and part of what we're doing, click below. There's a reason why you're here. There's just a reason. This is no freaking accident. Click below, connect in with what we got down below here, and get connected with us, because we have a system and a process, and we work with this in a lot more, even more than what you're seeing here on this Hangout. Because if you love that, you're going to love this. So, and we'll see, whoever invited you here, click below. If you're watching this from some other place, you happen to have caught it somewhere on YouTube, find the person that sent you, or find one of us and just connect with us, and we'll get you connected in.
Awesome. Thank you, Valerie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Keisha, wherever you are.
Thank you, Keisha. You're with us on the airplane up in the air.
Yes, and Keisha for coming in and knowing that she is present and wants to give you some feedback. So check your emails for her links as well. And the links below, I want you to go through a new journey today. We have some new stuff opening up. you get to choose the fast start where you click join now, or if you want to take the slow start and really find the truth, see the video. So I put both of those links in there if you want to take action on the new stuff that's coming out today. Very powerful journey that you can go on to really find the truth in your own, I call it success dreams, finding out your real true mindset of, are you ordinary, finding your life, and just going through a lot of the questions that we went through today. That journey, when you click the link below, will also question yourself as you go through it as well. So if there's anything else said, we'll see you in the next Hangout. Look for our emails, look for Facebook events and stuff going on around here. Be connected with us in every way, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.